Hello, everyone, and welcome to the original Next Level Gaming. We are back after a week off, and I have with me the intrepid team, Enrique and Amber. All right, guys. Enrique, how's your couple weeks been?
Good. Can't complain.
Lots
Happy to be
going
back
on.
on this week.
And Amber, our Queen of
Yeah.
Destiny. How are you, my
Uh,
dear?
I'm pretty great. I'm pretty tired, so I'm a little loopy, but I'm definitely really good. Really excited.
All right, we're gonna see how long you can go without actually falling asleep on us. For everybody who has followed us and knows, she just did the 24-hour marathon of the Taken King and Destiny 2.0 or Day 2, Year 2, Site 2, whatever it's called, and so we're gonna see how lucid she is throughout the podcast.
If you hear snoring, that is totally not me. There is a Snorlax in my room. It's not me, I promise.
Oh man! So we want to welcome everybody in. We are live, and if you are using the Hangouts section link that we sent out, the Q&A is open. Feel free to ask us questions. We'll try to answer them on air. We are going to figure out how to give out a gigantic beta code for the Xbox One. If you are interested in getting into that beta, we have a code and we'll figure out the best way to give it out. So, first and foremost, as we know, we've had a couple of big game launches this week, actually yesterday. So we'll start with the most obvious one, Destiny the Taken King. Now, Amber and Enrique, you guys are actually going to be the best two people to really go through
Yeah.
both the Taken King and the giant update that happened last week.
Yep.
Yes.
How you guys liking it?
Can I just say, I just want to say I told you so to every single person out there that doubted it and said that it wasn't worth $40 because it is. Bungie has truly outdone themselves. Like they did a fantastic job. Like 2.0 was not just a small update, it was a revamping, and so was Taken King. I really feel like they've literally taken the best parts of the game, changed the parts that were not so great, and they literally brought it together and made it the game it should have been. And some people say, this is the way it should have been in the beginning, but you know what? It's better late than never, and I am seriously falling back in love with this game, even though I never stopped being in love in the first place. So,
Well, I had the pleasure of playing Destiny with Amber last week when the 2.0 update came out. And, I've been away for a couple months, and I could immediately see the difference in the game, the leveling system. And, yeah, I mean, Bungie's really, they deliver the goods this time. And, yeah, I mean, a lot of people are saying, oh, I should have been like this year one. But, I think it's easy to Monday morning quarterback if you're not actually the developer.
yeah.
And you're trying to build a new, massive multiplayer online, game. I think it's easy to Monday morning quarterback and say, oh, they should have done this, but they've done it now, and I think that's what matters most. And
Yeah.
I love it. I'm having such a blast with it. The tracking system, how to track quests, is so easy, so intuitive.
Hmm.
The leveling system's easy. Um, Even the dialogue between when you're in between missions is better. They definitely have
Yeah.
focused more on dialogue and story, which is something that I know some people on this podcast have complained about. Yeah,
He's not
This
here
Bungie
tonight.
but
is definitely
yeah,
not lacking in story anymore. They hit some feels. I'm not gonna lie. I cried a couple of times. Um, but you know me, I'm a softie, and Bungie really just I think they struck the right chord with this one, and like they definitely they just they completely blew every expectation I had out of the water and more. Like they just, and I feel like they've made it a lot more not user friendly, but they made it easier for people to get back into it who
yeah,
lost interest, and that was definitely one of their motivations behind it.
yeah.
And I definitely it makes it more appealing to new players, which is great. They definitely made a lot of improvements that to be totally honest, I have not found a single thing that I don't like.
Not
Other
even
than the
Nolan
fact
Bot?
I love
I don't like.
Nolan Bot.
I don't like him.
No,
I still
no,
don't like
Okay,
him.
there we go.
no,
All right.
No.
no. Let me just say
Pe-
this. He has
Peter
more of a
Dinklage.
personality. No, to me, he was just too, I'm AI, that's it. He had no personality. With Nolan Bot, I feel like you have more. The only thing I do wish is that there was some sort of dialogue between your character and the Ghost, or your character and like the Vanguard. Do you know what I mean? Or like Eris Morn. I wish there
Yeah.
was more, back and forth. The dialogue between Cade Six and Eris, absolutely brilliant. Like
Yeah,
they
that
nailed
was
that.
good. That was entertaining.
So
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, they
Yeah,
did a
that was
really great
good.
job. I really liked
Okay,
that.
Yeah,
so
that was really good.
all right, so point counterpoint. Go ahead, Enrique. Tell us your dislike of the Nolan Bot.
I don't like him. He just seems, he seems too. I don't know, like he seems like a wimp.
He's a
That's what he sounds
companion.
like. He
Oh,
sounds like a little kid.
you
And
can't
I
tell
just,
me.
I
You can't
no,
tell me
I don't like
that.
him.
He
Peter
doesn't
Dinklage
sound.
is a better voice
No,
actor, I
I'm
think, for
sorry.
that
All right,
game.
so
No.
let me. I do have enough experience with the Dinklebot to know this. So Peter Dinklage has a voice that just it's very recognizable, and I think
Yeah.
that's where people come from. Right, and I think that's what to be honest, Nolan North's voice is very calming. It's very different, but I don't think it's. I can understand it. It's kind of like I'll give you an example. Do you guys know who Patrick Warburton is?
No.
No.
Okay, so if I said he was, um, a Disney voice actor, he was in Rules of Engagement, kind of tall guy, slitty eyes. He has a very distinct voice. If you heard him, you would go, "Oh, I know who that is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of voice that Peter Dinklage has, and I think for the most part, that's what he brought. Even with the goofy, wizard from the moon stuff, it still was. I don't know. It's still. I could understand Enrique's point here. He has a recognizable voice that, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I know that we've spent, a full year with him, but honestly, like,
And then tossed
he
him
didn't have
aside
much of a
like.
character.
Bring Dinklage back, Punchy.
He was just too much
Bring
of,
him
like,
back.
he was just too much of a wall for me. Like, I love Dinklebot, do not get me wrong. He is great, and I miss him, but Nolan North is just fantastic. I actually have a story for you. A friend of mine, a really good friend of mine, was in a party with a bunch of guys, like random guys, and they were talking about how much they hated Nolan Bot and how awful they thought he was, and that Dinklage did a better job. And then I can't remember if he brought it up or if they brought it up, and they started talking about Uncharted and how one of the voice actor in Uncharted was like super great, and then my friend's just sitting there like, that's fucking Nolan North,
Yeah.
and I'm like, oh, massive face
He's
palm.
better than Uncharted.
You know what? No, I think he's great. I think he's great. Opening cutscene. No spoilers, but that was freaking adorable. I cried. I totally
Oh
cried.
boy.
Yep.
Good grief.
The feels hit me,
I was
man.
I was like, where's Peter?
no, because he was like, I searched for you and I didn't think I'd find you or
Yeah,
whatever he said. I was like, oh my God, you're appealing to me right now.
What would happen?
He was
To
it was
me,
a little that was a little cheesy.
but to
beginning.
me, it's
no,
like
I'm done.
what would happen if somebody else voiced Cortana or somebody else
Like
voiced,
But see, the thing is, that's totally different. We only had him for a year. Like 1 year is nothing. Like if we went into Halo 5, if Cortana was still there and someone else voiced her, that would be completely different.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like it'd be completely different.
would it though?
So
Yeah.
Amber
Okay.
You've spent multiple years, with Cortana, and you've only had 1 year with, and you don't even hear him that
I don't
much.
know.
I don't know. Just to me, it's completely different.
All right.
I think with the year with Destiny, because a lot of us, yourself included, Amber. I mean, a lot of us have spent a lot of time in that year period,
Hmm.
playing this game. I mean, there's people who put in over 1,000 hours of game time.
Yeah.
Which isn't common in most games you may own for a year. So, I think that's where that connect happens. Where some people are like, oh, they miss Peter, Dinklage because of the amount of hours they put into the game and him being that voice. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I got used to it after a while. But I think I prefer Peter's voice.
I don't know. Like his voice was great, but I feel like it was a better choice because he has such a busy schedule, and like one of the things was that they were constantly.
Yeah, it was conflicts and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of conflict and stuff like that. So to have someone who was readily available, and he's so well known, right? Especially in video games, so it made sense. I don't
They
think
should
he
have hired
did.
Michael Ironside.
I think people are being a little too hard on him because I have seen a lot of people who are like, I don't like Nolan Bot. Like he's stupid. He sounds awful. It's like, you know what? It could be worse. We could have another Wizard from the Moon or something like that. And he does have a couple cringy lines. But for the most part, he's really funny and he brings something different to the game. He brings that little bit of humanity back to the game, in a sense. He brings that humor back because he has a couple of lines that I'm not going to spoil
Yeah.
anything for anybody because in case anyone hasn't played it yet, he has some really clever lines that if you played year
He,
one,
yeah, he
you would
does.
understand.
Yeah, he's
So
got some one-liners.
yeah, I think that they
Yeah.
definitely made the right choice by making him redo the lines from year one, just for, to make it all kind of come together, and then having him kind of make references to those things
Fair
throughout
enough.
Taken King as well.
Okay, it's fair enough.
Yeah. So,
So
so one of the things, actually, Mike, you know who picked this game up?
I know.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Our co-host that isn't here tonight.
yeah,
He's playing it.
he is playing it.
Really?
Remember, he was.
I know.
Yeah.
Can you see the
He
Oh.
screen?
didn't get the Taken King.
I'm wondering. I don't know if you can see this or not.
Uh,
Can you see the screen? Anything on the screen?
yeah. Yeah, I
Robert,
can see
yeah.
it.
Okay, that's Patrick Warburton. For those who don't know.
Oh, I know
Oh,
who he is.
Yeah,
Yeah. I know exactly who he
I'm
is.
all for Patrick Warburton being the new voice once they're done with Nolan North.
I'm gonna put my
Please
vote in
no.
for Michael Ironside.
Bungie,
Ooh,
please.
Michael Ironside.
Yeah,
Oh my
Michael
God.
Ironside. They should do Michael Ironside as one of the characters on Destiny.
They should do
Wow.
John Cena. I'm just saying.
John
John
Cena.
Cena.
John
The
Cena.
Rock.
Okay. All right. So
Hilarious.
I'm glad you guys are
Well,
all happy with Destiny.
Yep.
And
Mike, if you're interested in Destiny,
I'm telling you, dude, it's
pick up the game,
fantastic.
Mike, and you can get a level 25 boost.
Yep.
okay, so as we've discussed in the past, I have 3 children. I have a ton of other games to play. And by the way, we are reviewing stuff. When am I going to slide Destiny in? 3 in the morning.
Just replace the other games that you're playing. You can do the reviews. That's fine. Just do Taken King. You'll thank me.
I'm sorry, but um, there are, yeah. I'll leave Destiny to my lovely co-host. That's all you guys.
Oh, and one more
Worry
thing.
is coming to the
How about that?
Worry's
Like
coming to
all
the
the
dark side.
content. Yes, he is, and I will congratulate him on that. I will send him a message right after this, and I'll be like, "Congratulations, we have cookies, Beck-shaped cookies." But yeah, like the amount of stuff that came in the DLC, like some. Well, it's not
Well,
really
they
in the
opened up
DLC.
House
It's
of
the,
Wolves, right?
Yep.
And
Well,
then Xbox
basically,
owners get all the
exclusive
exclusive
strikes
maps,
and weapons. Yep.
right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and they really did a good job, and I mean it's like I don't know how far you were, how far. Oh my goodness, I can't even English. I don't know how far in you are, Enrique, but the amount of content, like you finish the story, and you
Yeah,
still have stuff to
there's still
do.
more.
Like, there's
Yeah,
just so much
it's
stuff to do. Like, it's almost overwhelming, but in a good way.
yeah,
Like, you're never without things to do, which is great.
yeah, and it doesn't
Okay.
feel like a grind.
And
That's the
that's
important thing.
exactly.
So what
And the new
happened?
strikes are
What happened,
fantastic.
Enrique, to Metal Gear Solid 5?
Destiny happened.
That Destiny happened, yeah. So yeah, Destiny happened. Although I'm still playing it a little bit, but I'm obviously focused on Destiny right now.
Sure.
And part of it's because I love sci-fi. And this is my element. A game set in space.
Yep.
So that's my thing.
All right. Very good. So, well, I wanted to get that out first because I know that's been, it's been the big talk. And we have lots of other stuff to get to. So, I want to start with the PlayStation side of things. We have a lot going on. Actually, we've got a good bit of stuff going on for both. Actually, all three console
Yeah.
manufacturers. Some big news on all three fronts. But I want to start with some PlayStation news. Now, yesterday also was the start of Tokyo Game Show and Sony's press conference. And there's been, since we missed last week and that podcast, we were not able to say happy birthday to PlayStation. They turned 20 this month. And so, Amber, for you as the young maiden of our podcast, do you know how the PlayStation actually came about?
I will actually tell you a story. Until the
Oh,
PlayStation 4 came out, I actually was not a huge fan of Sony products.
Wow.
I fed into the console wars, and I am super ashamed of myself. So I can say, no, I don't, unfortunately.
So what pushed you to get the PlayStation 4?
You know what?
Destiny.
No,
Well, but Destiny was coming out on the
no.
Xbox too, so I
Yeah.
mean, and I'm asking you in a
The
serious
exclusive
way.
content.
Yeah, no, honestly, like Destiny wasn't even the selling factor for me. When they had actually announced it at E3, I actually wasn't going to buy an Xbox. I wasn't going to buy an Xbox One. I had my heart set on a PlayStation 4. And at first, I was like, no, I don't want the Xbox. I want the PlayStation 4. There was more, not necessarily for me because, I had always said that, like, Sony didn't have anything other than indies, which is completely untrue. And totally stupid because indies are super important and super great. And I think,
If
indie
you
games and
if
indie developers should be, um, supported more.
well, if you look at
Um,
our YouTube page, we're really pushing review content for
mhm.
that. And in
Yeah.
fact, just as a real quick side note, we've got a couple of more indie reviews coming up this week. I intend on finishing Lovers in a Dangerous Space Time, which I
Oh,
am really enjoying. And let me tell you, my wife and I, it's finally a game that after many years of my wife kind of not playing video games much as she used to, she'll sit
mhm.
down and play that with me.
Oh,
So,
that's awesome.
oh,
Nice.
it's a fantastic game. And then we have Blues and Bullets coming up after that. We did reviews of Volume, which Enrique did a fantastic job on, and we have reviews of Pure Hold'em and some other stuff. So we are trying very hard to spotlight some indies. I'm waiting for my good friend Jason at Dev Jace. He is work. I keep talking about this 2D martial arts game he's working on, and he's been sharing with me some screenshots and things that have my cackles up a little bit. That I can't wait to see. So yeah, I totally agree with you when it comes to the indie stuff, and I'm glad that everybody's kind of embracing them.
Yeah,
So, but anyway, I'm
yeah.
sorry I didn't want to
No.
divert too much, but you bring up something that I think bears some attention, and I'm glad that we're giving them that attention, and more and more of the indie developers are coming to us and helping us to get their games in the spotlight, and
Mhm.
so I'm glad for that.
Exactly. Yeah, no. and anyone who like knows me knows how much I love like horror and gore, no matter how like terrified I am and how much I scream. Uh, Silent Hills was a huge, huge, huge thing for me. When I found out about that game, I was like, I need a PlayStation 4. That was what drove me to wanting a PlayStation. Um,
And
Initially
the,
was just just Silent Hills. Destiny as well, but I where it's on two
Oh,
consoles, it didn't really that wasn't a selling point for me. Um, but then a friend actually convinced me to go with Xbox One, and I love my Xbox One. It's great. I'm in the preview program, which is incredible. It's awesome.
Now we're going to
But
talk about that in a minute, or
yep,
not in a minute. We're going to talk about it in a little bit because we got big
yeah.
news.
perfect. Yeah. But yeah, I still had it in the back of my mind that I was going to pick up a PlayStation 4 for Silent Hills, and unfortunately, that never happened. But I did still buy my PlayStation, and I still bought 4 copies of Destiny. I have a problem.
You did. You put that video out. that was that was impressive. Yeah.
I
It
went into
must be
EB.
so nice not to have kids.
Oh,
To,
no,
to not have to not be married, to have disposable
to be
income.
fair,
It
I
must
only
be
paid
nice.
$100. I only paid $100 because I had traded in a bunch of games I didn't play. So I only technically paid for like one. So, and plus the girl at EB, she's like, "Oh, do you want the protection on them?" And I was like, "I've got 2 other copies at home. I think I'm okay.
Oh
Like,
boy,
if
I'm
anything
good.
happens, I'm fine."
So
Yeah.
So bad.
you are the consummate multi-plat Destiny person. I am
Bungie
I
sees
really
me.
we joke, but I'm really impressed that you can split your time that way.
Ugh, it's really freaking hard. Like,
Well, I'm
I
sure.
I just started on Xbox One, and I didn't get very far. Um, but it's not going to take me long to level up anyway and get gear and stuff. So won't
All
be
right.
long
Well,
before I put swords.
yeah. All right. Well, back to the 20th anniversary, the 20th birthday
Yes.
part. So I wanted to give you, and our listeners who look. There's a lot of people who aren't our age, Enrique, or not my. Let me put it, not my age, since you're a little under my age, that don't really remember how PlayStation came about.
Oh, I
So,
remember.
so in 1988. And I remember this fondly because in the 1980s, I was involved in the console wars as a Sega fanboy. So,
Uh-oh.
yes. So back then, Nintendo and Sony were going to create a CD-ROM drive to battle the Sega CD. And they had this plan in place, and somewhere along the way, Nintendo decided that because they couldn't figure out who was going to get the money, how they were going to split revenue, yada yada yada, they decided to go with a deal with Philips CDI to give them like the Zelda license and Mario license to do that kind of stuff. So they canceled the SNES CD-ROM
Hmm.
right in the middle of Sony kind of making it for them. So Ken Kutaragi decided we're going to make our own. So they went and they developed their own console, and that's where that's where it came from. And it's funny because at the time Sony was doing software, and in fact there was uh, Sony software on the Sega CD, and of course that then became the PlayStation became Sega's and Nintendo's biggest rival, and helped basically destroy Sega as we know it. And that's where the PlayStation came out. The original PlayStation
Hmm.
was like 1994, and it was back when Japan was still a very big part of the gaming landscape. In fact, people were still importing systems and importing games.
Hmm.
I was, that system went up against the Sega Saturn and the N64. Now, by that time, I was sort of getting out of my fanboyism and getting in. I had got a Nintendo 64 and was just blown away by Mario 64. So I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done being an idiot. And so I had a PlayStation, had the Saturn, had the N64, and then we know what happened from there. PlayStation 2 became the most incredible selling console on the planet. The PS3 came out, was not taken very well. It did manage to catch up because of some very good worldwide sales, but in the US it never caught the Xbox 360 and was I mean, if it wasn't for the rest of the world, the PS3 would have been kind of decimated. We wouldn't know if Sony would come back from that. I mean, they're still 15 million behind the Xbox 360 here. But then we all know what's going on now with the PS4 and their insane success. So my hat's off to Sony for a great 20-year run, and we're expecting them to be around for the next round of consoles and whatever's going beyond that.
Yeah, oh, they're definitely not going anywhere anytime soon. Hopefully, anyway.
Well, Sony is still having issues monetarily. I mean, they're not. If we look at the three companies, Microsoft has quadrillions of dollars of money, but they're diverse in OS and Xbox and whatever else they're doing.
Hmm.
Nintendo just printed money with the Wii. I mean, it was absolutely incredible how much
It's a
cash
cash
they
machine
made.
for them.
Oh yeah, especially with
And
the amiibos.
yeah, and
Mm.
hang tight with us, folks. We have Nintendo news today. We really do. So, Sony as a corporation isn't doing the greatest, and we don't know what their future holds. However, um, the PlayStation division is really propping them up right now, and so that leads us into TGS and what their announcements coming out of uh, that conference and what's going on at TGS this week. So the big news coming out of there is in at least in the Asian territories where I think no console is really doing very well at all.
Nope.
They're dropping the price, and
Hmm.
that has not been. And we don't. I don't know. I've heard that is a good chance that's Asia only. Not going to be a European or U.S. cut coming because obviously they're selling extremely well.
Yeah, they don't have to cut the price.
Right. But for those, I have heard people say, well, they should, and they might. And people are pointing towards the Paris Game Show as the possible
Hmm.
time to do that. However, they've already got their pricing out for their Battlefront bundles
Oh.
and stuff, and they're $3.99 and $4.49, respectively, depending on what you get. So I don't think
Yeah.
they're dropping the price here. I think what you're gonna have in North America from here out is bundles. How many games
Mhm.
can you pack in the box at $3.49 and $3.99? I don't know that I see
Kind of how
Sony
like it was in
dropping the
the old
price here.
days.
Well, actually, the PS3 dropped price a number of times. The Xbox 360 dropped price a number of times.
Mhm.
The PS2 dropped price 4 or 5 times. Um, the question is do they need to do that now?
Mhm.
No.
Do you think they will?
No, they don't need to do it now. I mean, you just mentioned their financial issues. And so if they're making money right now on the PlayStation 4 and I mean obviously they're doing well. I mean I think they're outpacing the PlayStation 2 right now. And you mentioned, earlier that within itself was a behemoth of a console in terms of sales. Yeah, there's no incentive for them to really to drop the price here in the U.S. or in Europe because they don't have to. They're sitting in first place right now, and they don't need to. They're still outselling the Xbox One, even though the Xbox One's priced, $50 less. So I don't see that. I don't see that coming. Um, I don't see that coming this year.
Well, and since we did talk about Destiny at first, we have the Taken King bundle. There's going to
Hmm.
be,
It's a
we
nice
know about
console.
the Battlefield bundle. There's a Call of Duty bundle coming.
My
Um,
work sold out of the Taken King bundle in 5 minutes.
Wow, look at that.
Yep.
yeah.
I was gonna
Largest
buy
retail in the
one.
world.
I was gonna buy one, and then I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do it, and I regret it so much. That would
Okay.
have been
All
perfect.
right. So I have to ask this because I have no desire to buy the Forza bundle or the Halo bundle. I already have an Xbox. What's the what's the I don't know, what's the allure if you already have a console to buy another one customized?
Because it's customized and beautiful.
Okay.
It's a
But
collection.
It's a
Yeah.
collector's thing, and a couple of guys I work with said the same thing. They're like, "You already have one. Why would you buy another one?" Well, I'd sell that one and buy the Taken King one. Anyone who knows me knows that
It's like
I
it's like
love this
children.
game more than life. Like I have a tattoo on my wrist, for God's sake. Like I love this game more than anything. If I had that console, that would be my holy grail. That would be sitting in a glass case. That wouldn't even come out of the damn box. I wouldn't even play PlayStation anymore. I just keep the box there and it's like, yep, yep, you
okay.
look pretty.
Yeah,
Not, I'd
Mike.
take it up and use it, but
Guys,
Oh
if I
boy.
had the discretionary spending to do it, I would have picked up that bundle too. Because
they
it's a
did a
collector's
nice
item.
job.
Yeah,
All
it's
Yep.
a
right.
nice
I,
looking
I
console.
all right. I just
Yeah,
I
and the
don't
Forza
feel
one.
that way even about the Xbox bundles. I don't know. If I didn't have one, I could see it, but if I sold mine, I'd be selling it at a loss. I don't know.
Yeah, but
It could
see,
just be me.
but see, for me, it's worth. I mean, like you said, I don't have a family. Like, I don't have any, other than like bills and stuff like that. Like, I don't have, like, I have money that I can unfortunately frivolously spend. Um, like, I save money and, I can buy myself the nice thing every now and then. So I can save that money. And when stuff like that comes along, you know what? I'm going to buy it.
All right.
I
Amber's
didn't
got
Hey,
bail.
look,
spend, I have restraint.
for the record, when it was just, even before I had kids, when it was just my wife and I, that was me and DVDs. I have, if I had a webcam, I would turn it around right now and I would show you my DVD collection, which is actually probably approaching 2,000 movies. Because
Jesus.
I would just go on Amazon every month and buy $200 or $300 worth of movies. So you know what? I do understand that. I get it. I get it. Some of this you have to understand is just my being a little older. So I see your I can see your point.
Yeah.
Um, hey, just real quick, we got our first. It's not even a question, but want to recognize the my buddies over at Upper Echelon who said, "What's up?" They are listening right now. Thank you guys so
What's
much.
up, guys?
Hey, what's up?
No, I'm going to talk about it. Let me tell you, just a real quick. I used to, and I don't know why. I guess time is the reason. I got to get back with those guys to play some Titanfall. Man, we had some great Titanfall nights where he'll tell you, I I
I love
suck,
that.
but I contribute to the bottom line, and sometimes that's all you need to do.
Yep.
Your
That
cannon
one or
fodder.
two, those one
Your
or two
cannon
kills that
fodder.
get you over the top. That was
Yep.
me. That was me.
All you have to
So
do, dude, is
Mike
play
sneaking in the
hardpoint
last minute to get
domination.
20 kills.
we thank you. We thank you for listening. Seriously, I have breaking news. I know we're talking PlayStation, and I want to get to the next PlayStation thing, but I have breaking news. I just got. I just got the Xbox Live message that I am ready to opt in to the new Xbox Experience
That
preview.
is awesome.
So
That's
Good,
awesome.
we're going to talk about that in a little bit. I do want to get back to the PlayStation stuff, but I wanted to just throw that in there. I have gotten
Nice.
the message. So you guys, since you're both in the preview program, check your messages.
I
Check your
probably didn't
messages.
get in
I have
because
been
I
I have
did
been
it.
I did not get it yet.
All right. Well, I'll tell you in a little bit when we get to that part. I'll tell you how you can get into that program. So, um, getting back to some PlayStation news, at TGS they did make some game announcements. First and foremost, they are doing a Bloodborne expansion called the Old Hunters, and that is going to come out November 24th. It's going to be $20, and it is supposed to be a fairly decent expansion. I know they're putting Yoshida-san came out to talk about it, and a couple of people have said, this is going to have all new location bosses, all new, some new weapons, some new armor. If you go to the PlayStation blog, you can see all about what's coming. They're going to. It's kind of like a. Uh, Here, I'll just read it out straight. Set in a nightmare world where hunters are from the past are trapped forever, explore brand new stages full of dangers, rewards, and deadly beasts to overcome. You'll find multiple new outfits and weapons to add to your arsenal, as well as additional magic to yield to add more variety to your combat strategy. Be new NPCs and a new something called the Snowblade, or the Bowblade weapon, and a new boss enemy Ludwig. So. They're working on that. That'll be out November 24th for $20. Either of you guys have Bloodborne?
I did
I
actually. That's
don't
one
have
of
it.
the games I traded in.
Brian had it, and he played it for a while and then gave up on it. So hopefully, we'll see if when he comes
It's
back next
good.
week.
It's good, but I prefer Dark Souls better.
Well, you're gonna get Dark Souls next year. So,
We're looking forward to that.
all right, so we
Yeah.
got that. Capcom has announced a multiplayer Resident Evil called Umbrella Corp. Coming out in
Ooh,
2016, $30, PC and
that's not bad.
PS4 only.
Oh,
Um, the, I haven't been able to get a lot of information about it. There's some I don't know. It's one of those. It looks like it's just a multiplayer. It doesn't look like it has a story. It doesn't look like it's anything more than just a multiplayer shooting game. So,
Yeah, I'm kind of over Resident Evil right now.
well, it's not going to be, and it's weird because it's not going to be a survival horror game. It's a shooter. I
Yeah.
don't,
yeah, that's really
I don't
weird.
get it, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just can't imagine it as a shooter. That's so weird.
It is, and
I kind of don't know how I feel about that though. Like, I mean, I'm open to the idea of, like change and, things being different, but I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not. Yeah.
Please, please prove me wrong. Please.
it's I don't know. I think this is where I have issues with where gaming is going. Everything seems to be hinging around shooters. I mean, it- it's almost like this is like a Gears of War kind of game.
Yeah.
So quick and dirty matches. Um, I, there has I don't know. The trailer looked okay, but it's not Resident Evil. It didn't make sense to me. So I'm hoping to get when we get more information, we'll talk about it more as I mean, this was
Yeah.
just announced. I'm a little leery. However, Square Enix also announced. All right, now this is the whole actual name of the game. Kingdom Hearts 2.8 Final Chapter Prologue. So apparently, and this is a PS4 exclusive, this is
Hmm.
the in between Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts 3, right up to the point before Kingdom Hearts 3 starts. I don't know what that
Interesting.
means.
Would that be
And
two and a half?
again, that's the whole name of the game.
What?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be 2.5?
No.
Yeah.
It would be, you would think so. But
Yeah.
this is closer to halfway done, or this is farther than halfway done. This is closer to all the way
Oh,
done.
so this is
So
this
it's
is like the this is 2 minutes before 3 starts.
right,
Gotcha. Right before the opening credits of 3.
right. So 2.8, but
It's the end credits of 2, and then
right,
right before 3.
2.8 final prologue. Now it does have a remastered version of the Nintendo 3DS game Dream Drop Distance, which I never played, but I know I've got kids at the synagogue that have shown it to me before. Mr. Mike, you got to look at this, and when they're not playing Smash Brothers, they play stuff like that. So, I mean, that's cool,
Yeah.
interesting. Now, I don't know if, well, Enrique, you've had previous PlayStations, and I remember playing Gravity Rush. They are bringing Gravity Rush back. They're remastering,
Remastered, yeah.
and then they're bringing out Gravity Rush 2. So
Hmm.
that's coming out of the Sony Japan studio. That looks like a
Hey,
February launch.
yeah. Mike, you know what's interesting? We just kind of backtrack a little bit. So Resident Evil Capcom, one game that I was disappointed we didn't hear about was Deep Down. It's like, where the hell did that game go?
That game is dropped off the face of the earth.
Like, that was a game they showed at launch. One of the games they
Yeah,
were showing, touting the PlayStation 4, and it's like, it's in the abyss. It's nowhere. It's like, what happened to it?
I don't know.
I was actually convinced. I thought we'd hear something at TGS this year about it.
I I, I don't know. It was, surprisingly enough, games not on that list. You didn't see a whole lot about The Last Guardian
Yeah, I was surprised we didn't see
or
that.
Horizon. I mean, we got no new footage, no nothing. I was kind of you would think that would be where you'd really see some more footage of that stuff, and we haven't. So that's kind of weird. And Deep Down is
Yeah,
it's
no, that
just
was
it's they keep saying it's sometime in 2015, but the clock's ticking.
yeah.
Yep.
2015 is almost over.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. What else did they announce? We got oh, so this is actually cool. World of Tanks is coming to the PS4,
I need to
and
Yeah,
download that too.
yes.
I heard
So
that.
I actually really like World of Tanks. I've been playing it on the Xbox 360. I absolutely started playing it on the Xbox One. Um, as Enrique has
Mike, you did
heard,
very well the other night.
yeah, as Enrique has heard,
Yeah.
I suck at the Xbox One version. I was actually very good at the 360 version. I don't know why that hasn't translated over. It's the same damn game with just some upgraded graphics. But the PS4 version is coming by the end of the year, and there's going to be a beta very soon. So we'll give you information on where to sign up for that beta as soon as we know it. PlayStation gamers, I can tell you from experience, it's a great game. It's not a first-person shooter. It's much slower, strategy-based.
It's not a dude bro game.
It is not a dude bro game, even though there's tanks. It is free to play, and you do not need a PlayStation Plus account to play it. That is a big
Oh,
difference between that and the Xbox versions, where you do need Xbox Live Gold in order to play World of Tanks. You do not need to buy Plus to play it on the PS4.
that's
Uh,
awesome.
That's
the
nice. That's
PS4
awesome.
will
Yeah.
get exclusive maps, two new exclusive maps, and an exclusive tank. And not to worry, Xbox gamers, they have said that there are exclusive maps and tanks coming to the Xbox version as well. They're both getting their fair share of stuff. Don't panic. But guys, it's free to play. It's free to win. I've never had to spend a dime to play the game and get better. Um, I, I highly recommend it. When this game betas, sign up for the beta. When it comes out, get the game. It's very fun. So that's my pitch for World of Tanks for the PlayStation 4.
I'll have to try it, honestly, because I mean, an ex-boyfriend of mine actually talked about it all the time, and he kind of sold me on it, but other games and work and stuff like that, I just never really got around to it. But I might actually try it.
Okay.
I might get it for Xbox, maybe.
Well,
I need it.
It's
I need
free.
to download
Get
it.
it for both.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no
I don't need
reason
it. I
not
can't
to.
have another. Yeah, that's true. I can't have another game though that I play on both.
Like, is it 4K on the PlayStation 4?
4K.
I'm joking. I'm joking.
You guys. So I do
Depends
believe
where
it's
they're
I do believe it's a straight port though. So it does have the 4K textures that are just down-resed into 1080p. This
Okay.
the game looks great. There's just no reason not to have it. So
Yeah,
I
I
would
gotta
say
download it.
get it. And if you're a multi-plat owner like Enrique and Amber and Brian, get it for both. Play it now. Get good at it. Get over, and just the only issue you'll have is that it is a lot of grinding. You got to play a lot of games in order to get better tanks and things like that. A question of whether or not you want to start over or not will definitely be something to think about. But if you start them both at the same time, then you can just play whichever one your friends are on or whichever one you feel like it at the time, like you do with Destiny, Amber.
Yeah, that's true.
So, and anybody who wants to roll some World of Tanks with me, hit me up at Stinger NLG. Follow me on
Amber.
Xbox Live. I'll be glad to play with you.
Yeah.
Amber, you should have heard Mike though playing World of Tanks. It's kind of funny.
Oh no.
Hey,
I thought you were gonna
Was he raging?
rage quit.
It's hard
At
to
one
rage
point, I thought
quit
you
that
were gonna
game.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that's hilarious.
But then I remember
almost rage quit.
he was so happy he found a spot where he could like hang out and like take tanks out.
Oh my
Oh
god.
no, man! I raged in a Nightfall one week. I was so mad. I literally just if he ever listens to this, I don't
Back
probably
to
not.
Destiny.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for rage quitting. I didn't realize I was fire team leader. Like
Ooh,
I
that's
was,
not good. You quit as fire team leader?
yep.
Ooh, that's no bueno.
No, I know. What happened was I was doing the Nightfall solo, and I'll put on invite only. So sometimes you just kind of want to be by yourself. But I forgot to do it, and that's fine. Whatever. People joined on me, and I was taking my time. I wanted to go slow. I wanted to kind of I wanted to just savor the Nightfall basically. I don't know why you would do that, but apparently I wanted to. So anyways, he came in and he like rushed past me, and I just for some reason could not get past this Colossus. It was the Valis to Arc Strike, and I could not get past this Colossus that was just spray firing me, and I just got
Did
one
we
shot
somehow
at
get
every
from World of
single
Tanks
time.
back to Destiny?
Yes, we did.
Yes.
It went
Only
back to Destiny.
only on the Next Level Gaming podcast can this happen.
But it's technically relevant because we were talking about rage quitting, so it's not.
I
But
never
it turns into this
Unrelated.
elaborate.
I cuss a lot, but I don't rage quit.
Oh no, I did.
You were cussing a lot.
This was the only
I
time.
was.
I say fluff a lot. Anyone who's ever played with me, I'm known to swear every now and then, but I say fluff a lot because I try to
You
censor
do.
myself.
You do.
But I was so mad. I think I died like 4 or 5 times, and I was just, I was like, you know what? I was like, F this, I'm done. So
And the
I
room
went
got
to
quiet.
orbit.
Yeah,
I went to
right.
orbit,
Oh.
and I realized then that I was fire team leader, and we
Well,
were almost done.
I cussed a lot, but every once in a while, Enrique would hear, "Xbox, record that," as if something
Yeah.
great happened.
He was excited. He was
So
like,
it would renew.
yeah.
So back to the topic at hand. World of Tanks is coming by the end of the year. Get it? New face plates, Vita colors, and 4 new controller colors were announced. They haven't been announced for over here yet, but um, I'm sure they will be. So there's the
Yeah, they
face
got to be
plates are the
coming
hard
here.
drive bay covers. There
Hmm.
is a new Vita color coming to the U.S. There's 4 of them coming um, to Asia, and really that's where the Vita still lives. The Vita just we know it doesn't live here, so they're not going to put much effort in. The controller colors, however, 3 of the 4 of them to me are kind of cool. There's a gold, silver, and steel black, and I'm a sucker
Oh,
for like that steel kind of
I agree. I'm
yeah.
the same way.
And then there's a crystal one that's kind of I don't know. It's see-through. Not big on see-through stuff. I've had see-through
Mm,
controllers before. They're not great.
yeah,
So
they're cool. They were cool when they were N64 controllers. Not so much now.
yeah. All right. One last piece of news. Project Morpheus has been officially renamed to PlayStation VR.
Yeah,
That's about all we know.
Mike,
yeah.
Are you excited for VR?
That's
Not
kind of
even a little
a.
bit.
That's kind of. I don't like that name.
I'm
Project
on the
Morpheus is
fence still.
cooler.
Well, remember they're leveraging the PlayStation name. That's
I
what Sony has
guess.
I'm
to.
with
Sony
Amber.
has been doing that systematically. PlayStation Movies, PlayStation TV,
Well, it's
PlayStation
a
Now,
brand.
But
PlayStation
it's so
VR.
boring. But see, Project Morpheus just sticks out. And if you say Project Morpheus, you automatically know it's associated with Sony.
Well, if you say PlayStation VR, you know it's Sony.
But it's not stupid. I'm sorry. Project Morpheus is cooler.
Morpheus does sound cooler.
Especially when you say it like this Morpheus.
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 Project Morpheus.
Yes.
So, it's
Oh,
still, it's still, I think, slated for next year.
okay.
I don't know. Look, I lived through and this is just how I feel. I lived through the gimmick that was 3D television. I still have a set of 3D glasses, like not the red and the blue, but the actual, you know, I
you,
have a
you got one of those
Mitsubishi.
old
So
school ones.
right, I have a Mitsubishi DLP TV that's still my main television. Great TV. 3D ready, so I have the glasses and I have the receiver and all that. And I was all excited and I watched 3D for like a day and I haven't pulled it out since. I feel the same way about PlayStation VR, Oculus Rift, HoloLens.
I'm sorry. HoloLens looks cool. Everything else is
I
kind of
just don't get it.
meh.
I, I'm not ready
Well,
for it.
remember VR was like this thing in the '90s. Remember that?
Hmm.
You remember that, Mike? I mean,
I
was it
remember.
early '90s, mid '90s? Yeah, it was a thing, and then it just disappeared. Now it's back.
I think it's going to
So
disappear again. I just don't
I don't
think
know.
I just don't see people wearing
A headset
a
for hours.
headset
Yeah,
for a television. I just or putting on glasses to see a dude standing in the middle of my living room telling me how to screw in a
Mike,
light bulb.
are you trying to tell me that if Worms came out with VR, you wouldn't like
Oh.
it?
Now, okay. So
Or
Team 17 I'm just going to tell you. If you bring out Worms for PlayStation VR, that may be what pushes me over the edge.
I knew there was a catch.
But I'll tell you what, if HoloLens gets a hold of Worms and I can play like a game of Worms on my kitchen table, okay, you got me. That would be it.
Told
So,
you.
I'm laying that out there for you, Team 17. So,
yeah,
all right, so
I
that is
still
all
I
the
still
PlayStation news to fit. Go ahead.
yeah. No, I was gonna say I still think the technology is a little ways off from really kind of immersing gamers into the kind of experience we think we're gonna have. It's not. We're not. I don't think we're gonna see a lot of like big AAA stuff just yet.
I don't think so. I think
Maybe a couple of years down the road we might see that.
I don't know. But we'll see. Next year is going to be when at least two of the three of these really get out and rolling, because
Yeah,
Oculus is looking at PlayStation VR and wondering when they're going to launch so they can launch.
yeah,
I
and
don't
there's
think
still no
HoloLens
price
has
yet.
any care. I don't think Microsoft cares about it enough to really make
Hmm.
HoloLens a competitor
Yeah,
in that. So anyway,
yeah, and we still don't know the price yet of the PlayStation VR.
no, we don't.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Yeah,
So
other than them saying they're trying to price it, making it way it's somewhat affordable, I guess.
well, but what's
Affordable.
affordable? I mean, if it costs
Yeah.
as much as the console, that's not affordable.
No, but it's probably going to cost as much as the console.
And that's another reason I have no interest in HoloLens. That thing's going to be expensive.
Yeah, it's going to be really expensive.
So even the Oculus, I mean, I know that the Oculus will have some cool little cinema thing where you can sit without the TV and watch and play Xbox games, but that doesn't tell me go out and spend $500. So I'd
True.
put that towards a
Not
hundred
unless it's
inch TV to
worms.
put on the wall. So all right, well that's my rant on that's my rant on VR. I just I don't know. I'm not
It's the future, Mike.
I guess. So, all right. Let's switch manufacturers. Let's move on to Microsoft. We've got Xbox news to talk about, and so I'm gonna move up the Xbox One Experience news because, as I said, I got the message for it. So
Oh,
we
wait.
know.
I
Go
got
ahead.
breaking news.
Ah.
I am not in the program yet.
Oh.
Oh,
All right. So
you
here's
had
how this
me.
works. So as we know, the new dashboard, the new Xbox One experience that's powered by Windows 10 and so on and so forth is coming out for the general public sometime in November, along with the backward compatibility. They announced, I guess it was last week, that
Hmm.
preview members, certain preview members, were going to get access to the Xbox One experience first. It wasn't even going to be all preview members. So I don't know what you guys do in the preview program, but when you guys get the new builds and when you check things out, do you guys actually go into the preview app and do the surveys and things?
I have done a couple, but I haven't done every single one. So I know I'm not going to be um in the early access for that. So I know it won't be.
And that's what they're
But
basing it on.
yep,
Because I don't know if people know this either, but Microsoft has actually stopped really taking um, mass people into the preview program
yep,
itself. It's a lot more stringent how you get in.
yeah,
Yeah.
So, going beyond that, I have done, honestly, I'm not kidding. I've done every survey, every poll, I go into that app once a week to make sure I haven't missed
Mm,
anything. Because there actually is some good stuff in there, and there's been a couple of
yeah.
things in the preview program that I've missed that had I not gone into the app, I would never have known you could do.
Yeah.
And I've done all the testing with, when the screenshotting came out, I did all the testing with that. The not the mirror with the Miracast kind of stuff where you can display from your phone. I did all that testing and I filled out all those surveys and stuff. And I'm not even I'm not even in the top 100 of people of levels and points of the preview program. So there are people that are doing a heck of a lot more than even me.
oh my
But
goodness.
they're really basing it on not just are you in the preview program just to get the new builds and get early access to betas and games and things. Are you actually filling out the surveys? Are you actually doing the polls and things? So that's why I got it because I honestly do every poll, every survey, every quick poll, every
Hmm.
quest. I honestly do them. So hopefully I will be able to give us a report in the next couple of weeks of how this sucker is doing. I'm really excited for it. Now, I have been looking while we've been talking. There's of course, because we are previewing it, there is a laundry list of known issues. So I'm hoping
Yeah.
it doesn't actually break my Xbox. But
Hopefully, it doesn't brick it.
but you know what? This is why we're in the preview program. I have to take that into account.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I'm excited. I the the dashboard looks really cool, and despite certain, we'll call them certain media publications that have asked questions like, "Are they going to reorganize the desktop?" Yes, they're going to reorganize the desktop.
Can I
They've
just say
s-
something?
th-
The current UI is so slow.
it is.
Oh,
It
It
is slow.
absolutely is. I like the layout, but I can't argue with the speed.
it's
It is
horrible.
it is damn slow. It really is. Snapping anything to the side has become you almost have to reboot your Xbox like daily in order to really get.
Yep.
So
One night I
I'm
couldn't
on
even
that
sign
train.
on. One night I could not even sign on. It would not load up properly. It was so slow. Like I would get to the part where, like how your profiles come up. I have mine set password protected, so that's partially probably the reason. Um, but it popped up. I tried to type in my password, and it wasn't even like allowing me to. And then it would catch up with itself, and then I'd realize, oh crap, I spelled it wrong. And then it would load and load and load, and then it would freeze. And I was like, "You're joking." So when I finally got in, it just it wouldn't work. Like my entire dashboard would not work. It like I would move and it wouldn't move till like 2 minutes later. I was like, I can't do this today. So
Wow.
I left it and restarted it, and it works fine now. So it's all peachy keen, but I'm so annoyed.
Hey,
I'm
Mike,
like,
what was the
why?
message you got from Microsoft
All right, I will read it.
about the preview?
Hopefully, I am
Because
not
I just,
breaking NDA.
because I
It,
well, no, because people are posting it on Twitter.
Yeah.
oh, all right. Xbox One
Yeah.
preview. We are getting ready for the new Xbox One Experience preview. Launch app on your Xbox One to launch the preview dashboard.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay.
wait a minute. Hold on, because I happen to have my Xbox on. While we're talking, let me do so. Because if I get the new dashboard now,
I think you might.
we may have to end this podcast early.
I think you might because I
Hold on, wait, because
before.
I got the same message.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Opt in to the new Xbox One Experience preview. I wish I could share the screen. All right, here we go. It's almost time. How to opt in.
Yeah, I did that already. Yeah, so I got the
Okay.
same. I got the same. I actually opted in and then got that message that you got.
See, I didn't opt in yet, so
Yeah.
I'm just getting the message. So I have to go to registration, and I have to
Mm.
You got to
opt in
change
there.
your
Wait a
situation.
minute.
Make sure
I
you
hear.
read known issues.
Well, yes. Look again. This is what we. This You have to know this going in.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
no, just I'm reading it only because someone on my timeline just posted it. I believe it's from the new the new UI, but apparently there's graphic issues with Forza 6 and even the Taken King. They won't launch. Like Guacamelee, uh, Elite Dangerous, Pool
Tell you what,
Effects,
the Taken
D4,
Kings. If the Taken
Taken
King
King.
doesn't launch, I'm not doing this.
Nope, it won't launch.
Well, you know what? I will take the hit for you guys.
All right. You can tell us
I
how
am,
great it is.
I am now opted in. I am apparently getting switched over. It says pending, so we will see.
All right, so at least two of us are have gotten the message in.
All right, excellent. All right, so sticking with Xbox news, and I'm sorry that Brian is not here with us this week. Brian had to opt out. See how I did that? He'll be back next week with us. I'm sorry he's missing tonight because we've got great Halo 5 news. So Microsoft did an article on their news site about their about the campaign. Now, while most people are PvP players, they're gonna love the Warzone and things like that. I am a campaign player. So I am really excited for what they're doing with the campaign. Now, we know about the fire team AI, and we know about giving the fire team orders. And so we know about that stuff. What we didn't know was that they are going to work very hard on a new progressive resolution system that's going to dynamically scale the res up to 1080p. So there had been some concern or some question about what the final resolution of Halo 5 was going to be. You know, the beta back in January, February was, I think it was January, was 720p. I can't remember last week. Don't ask me to remember January. Was 720p, and everybody went berserk. And then they, up to this point, haven't talked about the game res, so everybody's thinking, oh, it's only going to be this, only going to be that. Well, what they're saying is that depending on what's going on in the campaign, it'll scale up to 1080p. So,
Ooh.
Well, that's like Call of Duty.
kind of.
Yeah.
Well, Call of Duty did more of a like a 1080 horizontal, but not so much the vertical. But it stayed there. This is the way they describe it. They want to keep the 60 frame per second going. They want to keep that solid locked.
That's
Ensuring 60 frames per second throughout our play experience has required constant focus. Some sections of a mission might be relatively quiet, and achieving 60 is straightforward. But there are many situations where we dial the intensity up to 11. I don't know if anybody gets that reference. I do. Anybody? Anybody?
No, I don't get that reference at all.
Oh
No.
my goodness. All right, rent the movie Spinal Tap. That's all I can tell you.
Okay.
Anyway, at
Way
these
before my
times,
time.
we need to maintain 60 frames per second and give players a total experience from both a design and an artistic perspective. This is where our new progressive resolution system comes into play, allowing the game to scale resolution dynamically as the experience gets more intense and complex. In much of the campaign, you may be playing at 1080p, but when we want to get really crazy with vehicles, visual effects, and combat, we can trade some of the resolution in order to maintain the crucial 60 frames per second. Without this system, we would need to either reduce the scale of our most intense combat encounters, or lower the quality of content across the game in order to stay at 60 frames all the time. With progressive resolution, we get the best of both worlds, epic scale experiences that look incredible while running at constant 60 frames per second. So, thoughts?
You know what? I've been excited for a really long time about it, and just hearing that just makes me even more excited.
And the
I
game's
mean,
going to be big anyway. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
people have to understand too. I think this doesn't get talked about enough. How big the game is going to be. The Xbox 360 had a standard DVD drive in it, right? Eight,
Mm-hmm.
eight
Yep.
gigs. They can cram all this stuff on a Blu-ray now, or
Yep.
they can cram it all in a digital download. So they're talking about how much larger the sandbox is going to be
Oh, it's going to
for
be
this
huge.
game. Yeah. So let me. So if you like that, let me lay this one on you. They're going to be using Xbox Live Cloud Compute.
Ooh.
All right, you ready for this one?
The cloud's real?
The cloud is real. Throughout all of our connected experiences, we've embraced dedicated servers, which we use to run our co-op campaign and multiplayer experiences, including custom games. We've re-architected our game system, services, and networking to take advantage of Xbox Live Cloud Compute for physics and AI calculation in Warzone and campaign co-op.
What?
Yep. And
Oh my
it gets
God.
and so they also wanted to make sure that you knew that the campaign was built for co-op all the way through. So, yeah. So, yeah.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
So we're what, almost getting close to a month away now.
Yeah.
Just over a month. Now you
Yeah.
see
Yep.
why I haven't bought Destiny yet.
Well,
Oh,
How
that's gonna be difficult. I don't know how I'm gonna split my time. I
uh,
really
I'm
don't.
gonna do both.
so
You're probably gonna do better than me.
yeah. Speaking
Much
of the
better.
co-op, in addition to solo play, we've made online co-op a priority in Halo 5. Every mission is designed with co-op play in mind.
What
Environments have
about
been
split
built.
screen?
I can't play this with my 10-year-old son.
Oh,
I'm not buying
yeah,
it.
right.
Environments have been built with multiple paths and varying elevation. There's a new word.
Revelation. It's a new word.
Yeah, so that players
Good,
can support one another in
good time.
combat. We want to give players the option to split up into different directions and chart their own course within an encounter space. This in turn means the destiny. See, even I get to destiny somehow in
You're,
this damn podcast.
you're getting
This means
busted.
the density of active AI is multiplied to support the player count. So it's gonna get right, taking into account increased player choice and the introduction of Fireteam AI. This game is going to be insane. Absolutely
Yeah,
insane.
it is.
This could be. This is going to be the greatest Halo that has come out
Well,
since
yeah,
since the first one.
yeah.
This could well be one of the best um, shooters on the market for this
It
gen.
might be. It might be.
No offense to Nolan Bot, but
Mm-hmm.
because somewhere along the way, somewhere in this game is Master Chief. You already have Nathan Fillion. You already have Locke. You've already got this built-in great story. Now
And we haven't seen a lot of Chief yet, really. It's
No.
been a lot of like Locke.
but
Mm-hmm.
you've seen some blue team action.
Yes,
And you know that was his team.
that was his
So
team. Yeah.
it's coming. I honestly think that's fantastic. Wait and make people guess what's going to happen with Master Chief, and then bring it to them in the game, bring it to them in the campaign, and just watch the whole damn thing unfold. I mean, Amber, did you ever watch the cinematic trailer they put out a couple weeks ago? What is
No,
see?
No.
I still haven't done it.
No.
I've been putting it off.
Wow,
I've
you didn't even have to say no. The sigh said it all.
Just the size, the.
been. I can't even tell you how busy I've been. Like, it doesn't seem like it because I'm always talking about how I'm playing Destiny, but Destiny kind of runs
All
my
right.
life.
So that is your other homework assignment for this week.
Okay,
You have
and I still need to watch Star Wars, which I still have not
Oh
watched.
my God! Yeah, you have to watch Star Wars.
yeah, and Spinal
I'm
Tap.
gonna.
So now add Spinal
Okay.
Tap to that.
Oh, okay. I'll add. I have 3 things to do now.
Final Tap. Oh my
So-
gosh. Jesus. You could probably
Anyway,
skip on
so
Spinal Tap.
that is I mean, this game is gonna just I don't even know what to say.
It sounds like it's gonna. You know what? A lot of people are crapping on it and saying the story is gonna suck, but you know what? I'm really excited for
I
it.
think a lot of that went away,
The story's
honestly,
not gonna
with
suck.
that
No.
trailer.
I
No,
saw
the story's not going to suck.
No, I don't think it's gonna suck. I think it's gonna be brilliant. But
I
you know,
haven't
there's
seen
always
as much of that
naysayers.
though. I think
There's
people are
always
starting to understand what's coming. I think I think the problem is that a lot of diehard Halo fans who are into the Halo lore don't like the idea of this game not specifically being about Master Chief.
Yeah,
But neither was
change is a big
ODST.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah, ODST wasn't either. Yeah.
I know a lot of people who didn't like ODST. A lot of people, unfortunately.
I still
But you
thought
know
I
what?
thought it was a great game.
I mean, I
ODST
liked
was great.
ODST,
So did
but
I mean,
some
neither
people
did
just don't like
Reach.
change. And yeah, you know what? Reach wasn't my favorite.
I mean, look, I know people who didn't like 4, and that was
Right.
Chief.
My brother hated 4.
Really?
Hated it.
Wow. I
I
really
He,
like 4.
I
he
teared
was
up
the
at the
reason I
end of
got into
4. I'm not gonna
Halo.
lie.
Did you really
Who
tear up?
didn't? Dude, who
I
didn't?
got a little moist in the eye
Oh boy.
Okay, that word's
at
so
the end of that. Come
That's
on. Tell
by the
me.
way, Amber,
Look,
that's the
there
worst
are
word.
two.
That is the
There
worst
Thank
are
you.
word.
Thank
I
you.
agree.
there
You
are
cannot use the
there are
word.
two
Cannot
things in
use the
my
word
life.
moist.
There are 2 times in my life this has happened: the end of Halo 4 and the end of Old Yeller.
Oh
Those
Yeah.
are
my
the two.
god. Like,
For
oh
me, it was
killer. Are
Bambi.
you comparing Halo
Bambi,
4
the
to
Taken
killer?
King, and Halo 4.
So
Oh my god.
anyway, all right. So that's Halo. Uh, I don't know if anybody knows, but this other little game launched yesterday. A little racing game called Forza Motorsport 6.
I don't know. I don't know if I've ever heard of that game.
Amber, did you play the
So,
demo?
No, I didn't play the demo.
oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
I
It was
didn't.
awesome.
Um, I've been busy. I've been playing Destiny like every
I
day.
know.
That's all I ever do.
I thought maybe somewhere between a break you might
That and after dawn, until dawn. I'm too
until
tired
dawn.
for life.
After dawn.
After
After
dawn,
dawn.
after until dawn, right?
After
Until the
until
after
dawn.
dawn.
Yeah.
Yep, that's when I play it.
Amber's
Well,
named a sequel for it.
After dawn. They were talking about a sequel.
Oh, it's
yeah.
probably coming.
Oh, I'm sure it will. It was a huge hit. Everyone loved it.
All right. Well, if you haven't got the Forza 6 demo, get it, play it, and then buy
It
Forza
is.
6.
It's awesome.
I'll have it by Friday. I do need to get some of this other content out for the channel,
Yeah.
and then I am all about Forza
And
until
Mike,
Halo comes out.
you have to give Turn 10 props. I mean, for them to do what they've been doing, and I think I said this a couple podcasts ago, whatever. For them to do what they're doing consistently in terms of just quality for the last 10 years is incredible. Incredible. I
I,
mean, and I see people like downplaying the game, and I'm just like, really? I mean, it's hard to produce like one of the top games in a specific genre year after year or whatever, for
oh,
10 years.
for
It's not easy.
no, it really isn't, and you have to give them. You have to give them 5. 5 was a launch title. 5, it was very hard to cram what they crammed into that
Yeah, you
game,
under the gun.
and yet they still did. They they masterfully still did, and it was a great game. 6 6 is on another plane. I mean,
Yeah.
even if just the demo itself, the whole weather thing, the rain, I'm watching a lot of people throwing up little gifs and things like that of some of the weather effects and things. I mean, they really have gotten it down, and I, I want to dedicate a good chunk of time to it, which is why I got to get some stuff done, and then it's mine. Um, you know, I go back to the original Forza Motorsport. And I know this. You guys don't. It's hard to share in nostalgia, but I'll just throw this up on the screen for you guys. This back in the day, and you can see this is available on the Internet Wayback Machine.
Yep.
May 3rd, 2005. This was my original review of the original Forza Motorsport on the OG Xbox. And look at it. Look at it then. I mean,
I
these
look
were
great then.
yeah. Let's see if that picture comes up. It may not. Not all the pictures actually come through.
I
It's kind of.
I still have that game.
I do too. It's sitting in my. It's sitting like
Yeah.
right here next to me in a box,
Yeah, mine's in a
waiting
box.
for OG backward compatibility. But even back then, I mean, look at that. Look at the flag. And I pointed this out even then. I mean, look at the flag. It's
Yeah.
back then. This is what they were doing 10 years ago.
You can see the lighting there too.
And that was what I gave the game. So imagine what what I might give 6 now, given all we know about it and what I've been able to play of it just in the demo. Um,
The demo was just amazing.
yeah, and the full game, I keep just seeing just more and more people just raving over.
Yeah,
So,
the F1 stuff was crazy. Traveling at 200 miles an hour at the Indianapolis 500 Speedway.
oh, I remember.
That sense of speed
Yeah,
in the demo. I mean, it was insane.
yeah, and so the fact that they've adhered to this 1080p 60, locked 60, and have been able to do what they've been able to do. Um, yeah, that's just it's amazing. I'm very, hats off to them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. You
You know,
have to give them lots of props for that.
so. And uh, they talked about between Forza Motorsport 5 and Forza Horizon 2, there are over 7 million unique players that have played those games.
That's
So,
crazy.
they are there is a growing Forza community out there, and I can see this game. I'm hoping this is the game that does well over here. I don't know if you guys realize this. Racing games just don't do well over here.
They
They're
do in
they're
Europe.
they do in Europe.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 2 did not chart here at all, but it charts over there consistently. Forza Motorsport 5 has done over a million unit sales, but I mean you couldn't tell it from over here. I'm hoping that Forza 6 becomes the one that kind of breaks that shadow out because it just looks good. And the Car Pass and VIP memberships you can get, uh, they're already available. You can get if you bought the Ultimate and or Deluxe Edition, you get the Fast and Furious car pack, which they pulled over from Forza Horizon 2. If you think there's already if you played the demo, then you get the 2017 Ford GT for free. So that's really nice. Yeah, this game is this will consume me until Halo, so I got to play it over the weekend.
Yeah.
So,
I think Amber's fallen asleep.
No, I am still with you.
He's alive.
right. Well, we're talking about
Why?
Forza. We're not talking about
Yeah.
Destiny or Halo.
Destiny.
No,
Yeah. I was
I am pretty
surprised
tired
she
though.
roped Destiny into Forza.
All right, one more little bit of Xbox news. This is kind of a minor thing, but as a fan of football, the NFL app is out. Um, it's a little bit remastered. I'm sorry, remade from last year.
Remastered.
It's got some new.
It is
Yeah,
remastered.
it's
Everything's
got
remastered these days.
yeah. The coolest thing
1080p,
about it
60 frames per
actually,
second.
I do kind of like the next gen stat replays that they do. So for those
Yeah.
that don't know, those that don't follow football as much, this year, for purposes of better tracking the players on the field, they have embedded RFID chips into the jerseys, into the uniforms. So the Xbox app takes full advantage of that. If there's a play that they have a replay for, you can actually see the X's and O's take place on the screen, and it's been able to give you like
Yeah.
there was one where I forgot who it was because the week's been a blur and the Ravens lost, and so I didn't care about football. The
Tough loss.
Yeah, it was a tough
Suggs
loss.
is out for the year.
Suggs is
I'm
done.
just waiting for hockey.
That's not good.
Oh, that's true.
Waiting
You
for
would be
hockey.
hockey. Well, you'd also be CFL, wouldn't you, Amber? You'd
I'm not big on football. To
So,
be
Amber,
totally
who's your favorite
but
honest.
hockey where they slap each other
Boston
with sticks.
Bruins. I'm a
Right.
Boston
You like?
fan.
Whoa, you live in Canada and you like the Bruins?
Yep.
Ooh, that's blasphemy.
That is not blasphemy.
blasphemy.
I live with Toronto
my.
fans. That is blasphemy.
That's what I'm saying. But the Maple Leafs have so much history.
I know. Yeah, bad history.
Ay.
Well, recently, yes, recently. But I mean,
Recently?
the kid.
When's the last time they won a cup?
Wow. Okay, for a long time. Try living in DC. We haven't ever won a cup.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Anyway, I'm surprised somehow this hasn't gone back to Destiny.
I'm telling you, there are a few things that you should never talk about because it's always going to end in arguments. Politics, money,
Ooh,
gaming, and
Amber, I got the money. I got the money collar too, by the way.
did you? How do you like it?
I haven't used it yet.
Oh, it's awesome. Totally do it. I got one too. I was
All right, I'll
hoping
have to
to
check it
hop
out.
soon, but you
Wow,
know.
we actually did do it. We actually got back to Destiny. Okay,
No,
so
Dad said you didn't like
new
hop.
NFL app is out. Yay. Um,
Sorry.
all right. All right. So we are, man, we're approaching the hour and a half mark. So I want to get through the rest of this stuff real quick. We do have Nintendo news.
This is amazing.
Okay. um, Tatsumi excuse me. Tatsumi Kimishima has been appointed president of Nintendo. So at the time, up until this, Miyamoto and Takeda have been kind of running the company.
Hmm.
Kimishima comes in, and now he will be the new president. He has actually promised to be more of a kind of behind the scenes kind of guy, like an administration guy, and let Miyamoto and Reggie Fils-Aimé and those guys kind of be the faces of Nintendo and be the guys that are out there, kind of the way Iwata-san was. Um, and so he's going to kind of build on the stuff that has already been started. Of course, the NX console, some of their licensing out of their properties to smartphone, to mobile, and and he did say that the Nintendo Directs will continue. People seem to like that. They they respond well to it, and we'll see who kind of heads those up. But those will go on. So that's the big Nintendo news. I know it's not much in the way of big story, but or as far as like big game announcements or anything like that. But look, the, we know that the Wii, we've talked at ad nauseum about the Wii
Yeah.
U's issues. Nintendo's, even though they made a lot of money with the Wii, they've lost, 4.6 billion dollars in the last year. So they really needed somebody. He actually was. Um, he was their human resources guy,
Yeah.
and so he actually worked for Pokemon Company, and was he was if I remember correctly, he at one time was also CEO of Nintendo of America when the Wii U was and the 3DS was out. I'm pretty sure that's
Hmm.
who what he was doing when those came out. Um, so it's not like he doesn't have gaming experience as far as like pushing consoles, new consoles, things like that. He's got the experience. He's just I think people were wondering whether Miyamoto was really gonna take over for Iwata just because he's kind of a face of Nintendo as well.
Yeah.
So now uh, Miyamoto and Takeda are going to be Miyamoto is going to be the creative fellow, so to speak, and Mr. Takeda is going to become the technology fellow. So those guys are still going to have kind of high up roles at Nintendo. It's just neither of them are going to actually run the company. So that's the news from Nintendo. Not much to
Yeah.
talk about at the moment. Um,
No. Seems like more of the same with them. Just the old guard. I was hoping maybe someone new, but we'll see. We'll see how this all pans out.
well, you know, I it's not that they. I think they know what they need to do. It's not that they. I, the Wii was. I think the Wii just was such lightning in a bottle that they thought they could harness it with the Wii U and just didn't. So I I don't think they're a company. I mean, Nintendo is not a company in trouble in any stretch. I mean, they were able to ride the Wii, the money they made off the Wii. So it's not like they're.
Yeah.
I mean, they lost all that money, but it's like they're still. Nintendo is not in danger of going back to making, you know, uh, casino games like Konami or somebody like that. Those guys, Nintendo is going to be around for a very very long time. So I'm not. I think they understand what they need to do. And this guy, he's promising to, like I said, be a little more kind of behind the scenes and not front facing like Iwata-san was, and allow those other guys to
Yeah.
to be those faces. We'll see. We'll see. So, the last thing I wanted to touch on for tonight, and then we'll wrap up, the overall state of the console environment. So, of course, every month we get MPD numbers for the US, you get chart track numbers for the UK, and everybody kind of wants to use them uh, in their own way. As we know, some places and some people like to use them to club the other competition, club the console of their not choice over the head, or use it to war with. Um,
Yeah.
you know, you guys know we shunned when we shy away from NPD talk because we don't I don't look at it that way. We don't look at it as such. So we'll bring you some numbers just based on the fact that before this generation, everybody was talking about how everything was going to mobile. Everything was moving away from console. Consoles were
Consoles
dying.
were dead. Yeah.
Yada yada to yada yada. So here to tell you that's not true. So we all know the of course again the success of the PlayStation 4 continues to lead sales worldwide. It was the top selling console of last month in August, and for its part, the Xbox One continues to outperform the Xbox 360. It was up, I think, 26% over last year,
Yep.
and while it's not the top-selling console, it's still selling rather strong for Microsoft, and it's still pulling numbers that they're happy with. So, the I guess the rumors of the death of consoles is highly overstated, or however
The
that.
analysts got it wrong.
Yeah. So everything's doing well. And look, last month was a great month for exclusive games. Gears of War, Rare Replay, Until Dawn. All three of those individually charted in those numbers. I think Gears was third, Rare Replay was fifth, Until Dawn was sixth. In a world where they now kind of count multiplats so high on those lists because they count every unit sold. It's nice
Hmm.
to see some exclusives hit that list. And look, Rare Replay and Gears of War on some of the weekly UK charts have been hitting number one as well. So when you've got games like Metal Gear Solid 5 and multiplats Call of Duty, things like that hit those number one spots. It's nice to see, some exclusive games actually cracking these lists. So, the companies are doing well. I am very interested to see where Forza ends up. I'm very interested to see where Halo ends up, and I'm very interested to see where Tomb Raider ends up. Those are the big exclusive game, the big AAA retail exclusive games. I'm curious to see where they come up. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what did Metal Gear do? Didn't they come out with some kind of number about the first week of sales for Metal Gear?
Only in the UK they showed that it was a number one game, and then it
Okay.
dropped off. It dropped off big. The only one that I know that really gave those kind of numbers right off the bat was Witcher 3 when they announced,
Yeah,
4
when they
million
did.
sold. I haven't seen
Yeah.
any big numbers yet for Metal Gear. Um,
Gotcha.
Obviously, I think it's going to be the number one game of September. I
Probably.
just want to see, Minecraft always charts because Minecraft is a beast that will never die.
Nope.
I'm
Nope.
curious to
Not
see
anytime
where.
soon.
No, really, yeah. Call of Duty Advanced Warfare still charts. Grand Theft Auto 5 still charts. Madden is going to still chart. So I'm curious to see where yet another exclusive um, like Forza is going to chart, and of course Until Dawn's going to have a full month. So I'm curious to see where these games end up.
Yeah, I'm actually interested to see where Uncharted Until Dawn ends up because we talked about this. I think the last podcast that was a game that kind of just came out of nowhere, didn't have a lot of marketing behind it. So it'd be interesting to see how that game pans out next month or this month with a full month.
Yeah, but beyond that, I mean, again, uh, I don't draw console war arguments out of these numbers. I mean, they are what they are.
Well, I mean,
Um,
they're evidence that like you said, the game consoles aren't dead, contrary to what people were saying at the end of last console generation.
yeah,
So if you take anything from this, it's that you have two companies that are both doing well.
yeah. I mean, look, the PS4 has made a miraculous recovery from the PS3, which was at least at launch was a disaster. And you look, you could draw parallels to the Xbox One. I think everybody can agree that for one reason or another, the Xbox One launch was an unmitigated disaster, and they're finding their footing. The PS4 after the PS3, Sony found their footing, and
Yeah,
so now it's a matter of, I think if you want to, extrapolate it out into, well, the PlayStation 4 has won this generation. And I ask this question every time someone says that. What do they win? If you're a PS4 owner and they win the generation, do they send you a trophy? Do you get a little plaque to put on your wall? I mean, apparently the
no,
Xbox 360, at least in the US, I mean, crushed the PS3. I never got a I never got a little statue that said, Xbox winner. I mean, what do you get out of that?
you
I
get
don't.
bragging rights.
There you go. So,
There you go.
or
That's your trophy. Yeah,
there's your trophy. So anyway, overall state of consoles is really, really, really strong at this point. And this holiday, I think between Microsoft's exclusives and Sony's uh, marketing deals that they've got with Call of Duty and Battlefront, uh, regardless of who comes out on top, you're going to see some serious console sales and some serious software sales that I think you're gonna really, you know, kill finally this consoles are dead kind of thing.
yeah.
So, and you know what? Our friend Upper Echelon, he makes a good point. He says, regardless of who is winning, both consoles are selling at an amazing clip, and it shows that gaming is healthy as an industry. Gamers, regardless of preference, should want to see the advancement and maturity of our industry. And you know what? That is an absolutely fantastic point.
Yeah, that's a great point. And we as gamers, we win when two companies are fighting for our dollars. We win. The customer wins, and the consumer wins, and that's the best part of this.
Yeah. Well, and as you guys, are multi-console owners, you win anyway.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. That's why I own two consoles. Get the best of both worlds.
Exactly.
so.
You don't have
Well,
to pick and choose.
no, you don't have to. You know, you don't have it. I love when I read this. Console X is getting this game. I'm so jealous. Then go out and buy the console. It's kind of that easy.
Yeah,
If you have
So,
the means to do so.
right, if you have the
yeah,
means to do so.
definitely.
Yeah.
So, if
But
you,
I've always encouraged people, if they have the means to do so, go out and get both consoles, so you don't
yeah,
miss out on anything.
Exactly. Put the console war behind you, and you know, it's not worth it, honestly, because in the end, no one wins. We win. You
Right.
know, we are the ones that, get to play these games, get to have these experiences, and
Yeah.
doesn't matter what the game is. I I've met lots of great people through Titanfall. I've met lots of great people from, playing different games, and it's just, you know, people sit there and say, oh, people on PlayStation are mean. That's not true at all. It's, the person you talk to. It's, not everyone out there is nice, but there's a lot of nice people, and especially when you're playing games together, it brings you together, and, you shouldn't let something as stupid as a console war get between that. Because in the end, we win. We are the winners, basically.
Bingo. And look, I get the media coverage. One of the reasons that we do cover both the PlayStation and the Xbox in an objective and fair and kind of I guess balanced manner is because I understand. I understand. Look, I understand a lot of the angst that comes out of the Xbox gamers camp, as it were. You do see a lot of kind of slanted media coverage as it comes to the Xbox versus the PlayStation. I get all that. I honestly do. So you know what my advice is? Stick with us. You won't get that. Yep, you're going to have to listen to us talk about PlayStation. You're going to have to listen to us talk about Nintendo. You may have to listen to us talk about some PC now and again. But we promise you that we're also going to talk about the Xbox. And we're also going to, there's so much good that's coming out of these manufacturers and their developers and their software sides that there's enough good to go around. And stick, that's what I say. So stick with us because we'll give you the best news and fairly. Where else are you going to get? Honestly, I'll give you an example. I haven't seen anybody else really cover that Halo news. I haven't seen anybody else really cover the Forza launch in the same manner. Yeah, a couple of IGN and GameSpot they've streamed it, and we're gonna stream it too. But we're gonna keep talking about those games, just like we're gonna keep talking about Destiny, and we're gonna keep talking about the
We never talk about Destiny.
the Until Dawn time, and that kind of thing. We're gonna keep talking about all these games. So, like I said, stick with us, and we'll make sure that you're well covered, no matter what console you own, whether no matter what you like. That's our pledge to you. You're gonna find something in here from us. So, all right. I think that we have covered our whole list, and we've done it in just under 2 hours.
I've got something to ask Amber.
Uh-oh.
Yes.
Hey, Amber.
Yeah.
What did you think of the opening scene?
Dude, I'm telling you,
Well,
okay, I'm gonna say this right now.
the
Spoiler
scene
alert.
with the Queen.
Spoiler alert, because I'm about to go full spoiler. Full spoiler. You've been warned. You can't get mad at us because I've said this.
Count
Spoiler
to 5
alert
before you
5
say
times.
it.
Okay,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One last time. Spoiler alert. You know what? I don't think she's dead.
I don't think so either.
Thank you. Dun, dun, dun.
I don't think so
I don't think
either.
she's dead. And it turns out she's not actually awoken. Oh, plot twist.
Wow.
Yep. She was not. I can't remember exactly what the line was, but she was
Yeah.
not born awoken.
She wasn't born. Yeah.
No. And another thing, I don't. I think I've said it on the podcast before, but I did not trust Eris. I did not trust her.
No, I
That
think she's
bitch.
taken.
You
Yeah,
know
right.
what? I don't think she's taken, but I trust her.
I don't
Well,
trust
you're not
her.
finished the story. You're not finished the story, so I can't say this. But I trust her a little bit more. Just a little bit. Not a lot. I still think she's shady, and I still think there's something up with her. But when you finish the story, you need to message me, and you need to tell me. Like, I flipped out. Like, I straight up flipped out.
Oh, you see,
I
now
was
I got to. Wow.
screaming.
Okay.
I was
All
like,
right, all right.
it's
Okay.
so
Don't say anymore.
I won't say anything, but I flipped out. I was
Amazingly, we have started this podcast with Destiny, and we're going to end this podcast with
It
Destiny.
wasn't me. I can't take the credit for that. It wasn't me this time.
I know.
No, I just had to ask Amber. So hey, wait, Amber, have you? And we might have to talk about this offline. Have you played the Xbox version yet, or no?
I have actually just started it. I am starting my Stormcaller, so I'm probably going to head
All
off
right.
and do that actually because I am now not tired. Now I can't sleep, so I'm probably going to play that, rewatch the opening scene, and see if I can see anything I didn't see the first time. Because I mean, I'm sure I'll see something the next, 4 times that I play it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, I want to say thank you for staying up because I know
No problem. Exhausted.
we heard no snoring tonight.
No, you did not. There was a lot of
No.
silence
No
for
piano.
me because I was like, I was in my own world.
No pianos and unicorns.
No pianos and unicorns.
So, and I just want to share one last thing from our friends at Upper Echelon. They said, excellent show. Thanks for engaging them. And
Thank you,
we are
guys.
great at what we do. Much love from all of us at UE. Well, you know what? Much love from us too. And guys, I will
Absolutely.
be
thank you
getting
so
back
much.
into some Titanfall with you guys if you're still playing. And it sounds like I'm probably going to be getting into some Warzone. So
Dude, let me
save us-
know.
Oh yeah.
Let me know when you're
Save a
playing
spot
Titanfall.
for us.
Let me know when you're playing Titanfall, dude. I will play with you because I love that game.
Well, and these guys are good. Let me tell you. Like I said,
Yeah,
man, I just contribute to the bottom line. That's all I do.
I had one guy actually message me one day because I had a really, really good game. He was on the opposing team. He's like, wow, you're really good at this. So I was like, oh, thanks. That's the kind
You know
of
what?
stuff
I've come
that
across
makes me
some
stay
guys
around.
on that game that I have I've gone back and forth with. You know, he'll tag me, I'll get him, and it'll be like a real back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll message those guys and say, hey, much respect, because it's still the only competitive FPS I play, and
Mm-hmm.
those guys make me better. So
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going to do this again. I was playing not Titanfall. I was playing Destiny, and damn it, so close. I actually messaged a guy, and I think there should be more positivity spread because I know there's a lot of negativity and oh, you're DDoSing, oh, you're like switching, like, oh, you suck, like, get good, like all this negativity, and it sucks, and I hate it. So now whenever I get like outplayed, I'm just like, you know what? I'm gonna shoot them a message and be like, you know what, GG, that was actually really awesome. Like, thank you. Like, you kicked my ass and I deserved it. Like, thank you. And they're all like really nice people. Like, they genuinely appreciate it. There are some people, who are gonna be, like, you suck
yeah.
anyway. But there's a lot of people out there who actually like appreciate, you saying that they were actually really good. So I like spreading that positivity, and even though I got my ass totally kicked and handed to me, why not? I can sit there and laugh about it.
Mike, I got to play PvP with Amber, one of the guys that I game with. What were we playing? We were playing
Ripped.
Rift, yeah.
You guys were like, what is going on?
Oh, we got our asses kicked, but it was fun.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's awesome. So now we've truly ended with Destiny.
Sorry.
It's
sorry.
okay.
Oh, Mike, one thing we didn't talk about real quick, and maybe we can do this maybe next week. And I know there's something that Brian was talking about on Twitter. PlayStation 2 games.
Yeah, I'd like to come back to that because I want to get a little more information on that, on exactly what's going on there. So why don't we table that until next week's podcast, and we will definitely cover that because that's some potentially great news. Depending on, but I don't want to I want to make sure I know exactly what's going on with that first. But
Yep.
And hey, don't look. I think that's going to be a new Battlefront because, as we know, we are just over a month and a half to two, like a month and a half away, maybe a little more, towards whatever that opening salvo of Xbox 360 compatible games are. Which we there's been some announcements here and there. Which I'll tell you what. Why don't we do this? Why don't next podcast next week? I'll gather all that information and we'll get a current list of the Xbox compatible titles, and we'll get a current list of what they're talking about for these PS2 classics, and we'll check them out and give everybody the scoop.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, sounds good.
So, all right, well, that's gonna wrap it up for us. Man, we plowed through a bunch of great stuff tonight, and Brian, we missed you. Hopefully, we'll get you back next week. But Amber,
I missed
thanks for
I
staying
missed
up.
his
Oh,
accent.
anytime,
Whatever he
dude.
does.
Yeah, he does, man. He brings some great. He does also bring some great insight.
Oh
As
yeah.
I was really hoping to have him on to talk Halo because that's his baby. So maybe
When I find out,
we'll get him to catch up on some Halo talk next week.
Yep.
yeah, when I
So.
found out he wasn't going to be on tonight, my eyes got moist. So
Oh, I hate that word.
that word is Amber.
Oh,
I'm with you. That word is
Yeller.
terrible. That is the worst word.
I don't know what it is. I just hate that word.
What?
It just sounds gross.
Moist.
Moist. I don't. It's not that it grosses me out. It's a weird word, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's weird.
She doesn't like it.
I just don't like it.
You just don't like it.
Nope.
You know
It's
what?
bad.
I've heard a lot of people say that though.
Yeah, it's not just me. And I said snicker earlier, and someone was like, "Don't say that.
Snicker.
Don't say snicker." I was like, "What?" I was like, "It's a form of laughter."
Oh, that's funny.
And a chocolate bar, but
Yeah.
that's not what I was referring to.
Oh,
That is
all
pretty
right.
funny.
So,
Oh, I just got hungry with you saying
yeah.
that.
All right. I'm gonna just keep watching the screen, the big TV, to see when that Xbox experience comes along, and we're gonna wrap this up so I can go do that. Seriously though, thank you guys for once again a fantastic podcast. I think like I said, we covered a lot of ground tonight. Thank you to our listeners, both our live listeners, our buddy Upper Echelon, and those who checked in with us. This will be, of course, up on YouTube for you to listen to afterwards, so we hope that you do. Please comment. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you didn't like. We're always still, again, looking to see where we can improve as well. Let us know if you like the live podcast or if you preferred when we were doing it kind of recorded and put up the next day. I kind of like the live. Kind of gives us a little more spontaneity. Um,
Yeah.
Plus it's a lot less work for me. I'm not gonna lie. Staying up till 3 in the morning, making sure I got all the logoing and stuff. Uh, I
That
can.
is, yeah.
I'm okay if enough people continue to listen. We are doing. We're growing very nicely, but please subscribe and tell your friends about us. We need subscribers. The more subscribers we get, the more we're going to be able to do on our channel, the more content we're going to be able to bring to you. We do have game reviews coming thanks to our partners that are helping us out with indie games. But if you want us to be able to start giving you the perspective, different perspective than the big boys, as far as games like Halo and Uncharted and some of that stuff where you get their perspective early. Got to subscribe and you got to spread the word, help us grow. That way we can help grow our content. That's my spiel for that. We are also still looking for reviewers. If you have a PS4 and an Xbox One, hit me up, DM me at StingerNLG. We definitely need some help there, and might be worth your while. And tell you what, let's do this. Let's see how many people actually make their way to the end of our podcast. We'll pick somebody that tweets to the at OG_NL Gaming and follows at OG_NL Gaming with the hashtag NLG Gigantic, and a random person that does that will win one gigantic beta code for the Xbox One. And we'll
Which I've actually enjoyed so far, by the way.
yeah, I'm going to be getting into that as well.
Yeah.
So let's say we'll pick a winner Friday afternoon.
Pick Amber.
We'll pick a winner on Friday afternoon. So once again, that is at NLG Gigantic, or I'm sorry, hashtag NLG Gigantic, and you follow and tweet that to at OG_NL Gaming. That's our official Twitter. Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitch. Enrique has been doing some great stuff on Twitch for us at OG_NL Gaming. And hopefully, at some point, Amber is going to grow out of potato internet, and then she'll be able to do some Destiny.
Fingers crossed.
I'm hoping.
She needs fiber at her house.
I know. My house is still not compatible.
That's
compatible.
all right. Not compatible. It spits out the fiber.
It does.
Yeah.
Anyway, Amber and Enrique, thank you guys again. And,
Absolutely.
Everybody, thank you for joining us. We are the original Next Level Gaming podcast. Have a wonderful rest of the week. Have a wonderful weekend. And as always, play on, gamers.